So much confidence, so much talent, all that, and yet was reading an article about a time you almost took your own life.
Yeah, yeah.
Drove off a cliff, huh?
God was calling me collect, man. and I wouldn't accept the charge.
How old were you at this point?
I have no idea.
Wouldn't accept the charges. You got away with words, man.
That's the truth. God was calling me collect. I wouldn't accept the charges because I ain't had no peace. Like, I was at the top of my game, man. At what
point in your career was that? Where were you?
I was playing for the Cincinnati Reds at the time. I don't know if we won a Super Bowl. Yeah, I think I did. I think we had won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Yes, we did. We did.
So you are a Super Bowl winner.
Yep.
You're on the Reds.
The night
at this
of the
point,
Super Bowl.
You played in the World Series,
right?
The
night of the Super Bowl in San Francisco, my first one. First one out the locker room, first one on the bus, first one in my room, and I'm sitting on the bed like, this ain't it. Like, I gotta go.
Just directly after winning.
I gotta go. What I mean I gotta go is like, see, what a man needs is another challenge because I conquered this. I've done that.
Interesting.
Okay, let's go. So I'm thinking, I gotta go. I made that decision that night. So now I go to Dallas, had a much better time, won another Super Bowl. And I'm sitting there that night. Okay, you know what? Let me try something different. Let me go out with the guys tonight. Let me kick it. Let me have a good time. Let me be in the moment. Let me see. That's it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, that wasn't it.
Didn't enjoy it.
It was something not filling that void inside of me. So that's when I knew God was calling me collect. And I was running from it because I never wanted to be hypocritical. I never wanted to be this guy, but not that guy. Because I cared about people too much and I knew I had the influence on my teammates.
Right.
So whatever I was gonna do, the majority of them was gonna do.
There's such a difference though between feeling like a professional void or like I need something to satisfy me versus I'm gonna take my own life. I mean, there's a big gap there, no?
Yeah.
Was there other, you know, I know
no.
divorce at the
Yeah, I was going through the divorce at the time, but that was
that wasn't it.
The only thing that I thought loved me were my two kids at the time. So when they're stripped away from you because the woman is taking them, now you find yourself alone and you got time to
that
think.
Loneliness, it's an MF.
There you go. There you go. So now you're saying, hey, what's going on? This is good, but this ain't giving me that. The hand claps are great, but it ain't making me feel warm. That's when I came up with the whole saying is I'm living in a 15,000 square foot house, but never feeling at home. When I got 200 suits, but I can't cover up the pain. When I got 400 pairs of shoes, but I can't take a step in the right direction. I got 7 whips in the driveway, but I ain't going nowhere. See, I came up with all these cliches, but they were 100. I'm playing in front of 70 or 80,000 people clapping for me, but they don't know my name, my middle name. It was all that kind of stuff. I'm laying between 2 and 3 women at a time, but ain't nobody satisfied. So all those things was going on in my mind, and it was real. So I had to come on. I had to come on to Jesus, man.
So you're driving one night.
No,
and
daytime. And listening to Kurt Franklin's Conqueror, double-minded, the Bible says double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Being double-minded at the highest height of it, because I'm listening to You Are a Conqueror, and I'm driving myself and I veer off the side of the highway.
Just like, this is it, just gonna go. Yeah. And how injured did you get in that?
None.
Nothing at all?
Not a scratch.
Did that influence you to be like, wait a minute, there is something going on here? Like, I should be dead, I should be injured?
I knew it.
I'm not?
I knew it when I turned off because I was so honest that I couldn't even lie. So then the paramedic comes down to the side of this runoff and he said, what happened? Did someone run you off? I said, no,
just me.
It was me.
Yeah. Now, I find it so interesting because ordinarily if I hear something like that, somebody tried to take their own life and they didn't, there's a clear change in who they were. You know, they were on drugs and partying and then they're not, or they were doing this and they changed. And for you, it seems like you're still that same dude in a way. Like, what changed after you did the ultimate? You did like the biggest, craziest thing you can do, and then you come back. What changed? What were you doing differently after
Because
that?
now what I'm doing is for God, it's not for me.
So same thing, but different motivation.
Yeah.
Different reason.
It wasn't for me. Yeah, at that time. Everything was about me, about my family, about making money, about being that dude. Now it's for the Lord, man. It's straight. Because I remember one famous guy, and I'm not gonna call his name, say, well, when you got saved, didn't God tell you to change your suits and change your cars? And I said, no.
I'm not giving that up.
Not the God I know. The God I know, the Bible says the streets are paved in gold. So if his streets are paved in gold,
then
why would I give up my gold, you know? So he's like, no, God just wants me to work for him.
Right.
It's good. He just wants me to work for him.
So, and now, I mean, success in everything you've ever done.
Seemingly, but it's not necessarily. The perception of it.
Give me a time, what do you think your biggest failure is?
I don't have a biggest failure because whatever went wrong, I got it back right. And I learned from it and I made it right. It was supposed to go that way so that I could learn from it and grow from it, then get on a telecast like this, a broadcast like this, a podcast like this to tell them, baby, the oven is hot, don't touch it. Yeah.
Well, all right, well, let me rephrase. What's your most embarrassing moment? A moment where you weren't prime, where you were just like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that, did that, botched that.
I don't really have that. What I would say is, I wish I would go with my instincts in regards to people, because I always feel like I could fix it. Mm-hmm. I could just pour love all over it and it's gonna get better. And sometimes people are just who they are.
Sometimes you just can't fix it.
You can't fix it. And I can't be God to them. They gotta
find God. They gotta change it.
Right, I can't help that.
So you can't even think, so I asked you a time you failed, a time you were embarrassed, and you ducked both those questions. You did. You just ducked both of them. You just ducked.
I didn't duck it because I don't have those moments.
Yeah.
I've never said, oh man, that was embarrassing. Well,
so like
baseball-wise, I'll give you one baseball-wise if you're thinking specific, but it's not a big thing. Jose Akendo struck me out.
And you were walking back to the dugout like, you kidding me?
I think we were beating the darn Cardinals to death, and they put him in because they didn't want to waste another pitcher. And I'm sitting up there trying to take him yard, right?
Yeah.
And he painted a 3-2 fastball on the black or something like that. And it had to be 3 inches outside, but the umps was ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I was so mad at myself for taking that. I went home, I had a batting cage in my yard. I probably hit to 2 in the morning.
Wow.
I hit to 2 in the morning. So
that Jose Akendo.
Because that was embarrassing to me.
Yeah,
so that I would give you that.
No, but that is insightful. That kind of gives you a peek into what what does drive you.
I hit to my hands was raw that morning. I was so mad. Yeah, I was mad.
That's very funny that a guy like that will be in your brain forever.
He'll never leave.